We're going to jump across the country. We're going to head all the way to Maryland to talk to one of the top prospects in MMA. 3-0, racked up that third win just a couple days ago. My Fight Show now brings in Isaiah Brooks. How you doing, sir?
What's going on, brother? How are you doing?
I'm excited to talk to you. Having a good night talking fights.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
So I get a message, and there's a young lady getting in contact with me and promoting you. Is that manager? Is that family? Who is the one that's pushing you out here?
That's my girlfriend.
See, we had to give somebody credit.
Yeah. No, she helps me with all that stuff. So, yeah, big shout out to her for sure.
The career is a true family affair.
What's up?
I said the MMA career, it's a true family affair.
I'm the first in my family to do the MMA aspect. Me and my brother who grew up wrestling. Wrestling's still a part of our family. My dad used to box back in the day, but he never taught me anything because I guess he thought that I would not know how to use my power. So, but he taught me like a little shovel punch and stuff. But this is all fairly new for us.
From a family that grew up with that combat sports kind of trajectory, and you and your brother having been in the wrestling room, and your brother with the acclaims that he's had, is competition, competing, something that's just always kind of spoke out to you guys?
Oh yeah, we love competing for sure. Even if it ain't in the mat, it's in the house. So, I actually just got off the game with him playing UFC 5, and I'm downstairs in my basement, just like, because I'm like I'm itching for a win. I'm like I hate losing, bro. I hate losing on any level. But if I lose on a big stage or a small stage, we got to take it all the same. Take the wins and the losses the same way. As long as you're learning and improving. Now I know it's a small aspect for a video game, but you can you can look at it the same way.
Well, as long as we're talking about UFC 5, so who's your character? Who are you fighting as?
Oh, I'm a cheater, man. I like Ilya Tapor. He's cracked. You can't lose with him, bro.
We're going to go with the heavy-handed guy. We're just going to go out there with
That's
the pound for
right.
pound number one.
That's right. Just pick a good old fashioned bar fight on UFC 5. Ilya Tapor is your guy, or Justin Gaethje. He's good too.
So your dad was a boxer, but never really showed you guys how to box. You guys take the route of going towards wrestling. We've seen your brother really stuck with wrestling, but where does the actual punching start to captivate you?
I guess I started about 2 or 3 years ago. So it's all been, I wouldn't say new, but not at this point, not like new, but it's still new. Like you got guys that have been doing this their whole life. So even when I'm fighting, my instinct is to grab a leg. So I mean, but that's the beauty of it, is just learning new things. It's awesome.
How do we get to the gym? How do you find out that MMA is something that you want to go towards?
My coach I've actually known for a very long time, and he told me when I was younger that I would be really good at MMA, but I just I always watched UFC, played the UFC games growing up and stuff, but I guess once I stopped wrestling, I took about say 4 or 5 years off of combat, just not doing really anything with it, maybe coaching every once in a while. And then I was just you know what, what's next for me? Because I still have that fire in my heart as far as competition. What's next for me? And I was just well, why not try MMA? And I would just start sparring my friends randomly. My boy, shout out Tim, he got us some shin pads. He told me you gotta get your own mouthpiece. So I got that, and we would go over to the wrestling room and just train. So I guess that's how it started.
When you said just started sparring people, I just got a vision of a YouTuber just walking around with gloves. Anybody want to
Yeah,
spar? Anybody want to
yeah,
spar? I'm just trying
yeah,
to get
yeah.
some work.
Yeah, basically, bro. Basically, like it didn't matter like the time. Just like we'll figure it out and just go over it. Even if we didn't have gloves, we're like, you know, just feeling it out. It's just I don't know. It's one of those sports where everybody. I think everybody loves it. Everybody loves to watch a good fight. Even if you're not a fighter yourself, you love to watch two people just put it out. Put it all out there on the line. So
So you knew a coach that was an MMA coach, but you're sparring at random times and went random places. Where
yeah,
does this evolve to actually going to the coach or finding some structure to get more farther down this path?
my dad put me back in contact with him. He was like, if you're gonna take it serious and you want me to take you serious, then you need to be going to a professional gym with an actual professional coach. And because I'm not just gonna pour into you if you're just gonna bullshit around. You know what I'm saying? So uh, got in contact with him. I think I had trained with him for like a month before I took my first amateur fight, and then we went out there and got the dub. But it was definitely everything that he taught me went out the window the moment I stepped in that octagon for the first time. I just saw a person in front of me, and I was just like, okay, like I know to punch and to wrestle. That is it.
I did a amateur kickboxing broadcast a couple weeks ago, and on paper it said everyone was 0-0. And I heard the referees talking, or someone that was an amateur referee just learning. He's like, oh, so this will be a really quick night, right? Like they're just all going to be aggressive and get right after it. I was like, no, dude, this is going to be the most awkward flailing at each other you've
Yeah,
ever seen. And that's just what it breaks down to.
yeah.
Training, the first fights are not for your training. The first fights are just to get the nerves out, right?
That's it. That's it. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Like now I'm a little bit more experienced, and even like going into the fight, like before, I would just like listen to music that's just gonna get me hyped, whatever, and then the adrenaline dumps even worse because you're in the back just moving more than you need to. So now I don't even listen to music when I'm warming up. It's just like another day. Like I do it every day. So why am I gonna act differently just because the spotlight's on me and there's people that are drunk, watching me fight? It's like I'm gonna do the same thing I do every day. I don't, so
What was the response as your dad was hesitant to teach you boxing? What was the response finding that you wanted to go the path of MMA?
he didn't think I was gonna take it serious. He just thought, I mean, yeah, he didn't think I was gonna take it serious. But until he saw me actually, training and doing the things, cutting certain things out of my life, he was like, "Hey, you're gonna have to show me," which I respect. Like I'm not just gonna sit here if somebody just keeps on telling me they're gonna change, and then they don't change. Well, eventually your word holds no value to me. So you're gonna have to show me you're gonna change, and that's exactly what happened. And now, now he's one of my biggest supporters. He's my agent, so it worked out.
How long were you kind of holding the weight of knowing that you were committed, that you were serious before you felt like you got other people to buy in?
I didn't really have any weight. I'm not gonna lie. I was doing it for myself and nobody else. I mean, I still do it for myself. It's something that I love to do, and it's changed and it saved my life. It saved me from a lot of things. I don't know where I would be without my teammates and the people that MMA has brought into my life. So, yeah, I mean, I didn't really have any weight. It was more so just for me, like if you do something, you got to do it for you, and people if they want to support you, they'll support you. But it was one of those things.
As I'm seeing it on Tapology, we got 3-0 as a pro and 4-0 as an amateur.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So how long were you training, whether it was the sparring or now taking it more serious, before we had that amateur debut?
It was about a month, like when I got with my coach. But I would you can call it taking it serious, but I was still doing things that I shouldn't have been doing, and then once I got in there, I was like, okay, you can't live this lifestyle and be successful, at a higher stage, So I had to learn, to take myself serious also. So people could take me serious, but yeah, it was about a month, I would say.
Not sure if you feel comfortable, but what was going on with life before? Was it partying? What do you feel that had
Yeah,
you kind of off track?
it was just, yeah, partying, drinking, not really like motivated, to like really do anything. And it was just like, you know, bouncing from job to job and, just like, just wasn't what I just felt like I had a different purpose being here than that. And it was driving me crazy. So, I would like lash out randomly, like just angry, and, yeah, and I think I found a healthy outlet for it now. And yeah, yeah. But I will tell you this, brother. I'm very comfortable telling my story, but like because I feel like my story one day will change somebody else's life. God willing. So that's why I'm here. That's why we're all here. We're all here. We're all children of God. So whether you've been through things, I've been through things. It's always good. The people that messed up the most in their life, I feel like, are the best teachers because they can tell you, or you can just watch them and be like, I don't want to be like that. Or they can tell you, hey, this didn't work out for me. Maybe you should cut that shit out.
So what do you feel from that kind of aspect? What's the biggest motivator to you? What happened that has motivated you to seek out that better life and to have this better approach to life and level-headed mindset?
That's a good question. Well, one is I feel like I was kind of slapping God in the face by doing what I was doing because I feel like, I'm here for a higher purpose versus in what I was doing. So it's like, if I'm living down here, and how can He use me up here to spread to the people He wants me to get to? So that's one. And two is, like I said before, I'm competitive and I want to be the best in the world. So it's like when I see a goal, I want it. I'm gonna go get it, and if it's in God's will, but just know I'm gonna bust my ass to get to where I'm going. And if it's in His will, I'm gonna get there. So that's something I just kept telling myself is, I am more than what I am acting like at that time. So
When does it actually, you could say it to yourself, but when do you feel those words that as a fighter, you can be one of the best in the world? When did that epiphany truly like feel
like
like you
actually
could put
start
into
believing it.
action? Yeah, like you could
Yeah,
say it, but you got to really believe it.
you gotta really believe it. Yeah. I think it was just like when I saw myself just to start getting better, and how fast progress was coming. I was just like, oh yeah, you can kind of like guilt trip yourself into things, but I was like, oh, I actually see it for myself, like, and my coach is very straightforward. He's gonna tell you, but he told me, he was like, you got the skills, but doesn't mean it's gonna come easy. You have to show up. You have to keep doing this and training hard and cutting out the extra bullshit in your life, or it won't happen. So I feel like, if you're living right, one, that gives you that confidence to go out there and do, like, you did everything in camp. You ate good, you weren't doing bullshit. You step into the octagon, you're like, all right, I did everything right. So I don't see why it doesn't go my way. I'm gonna go out here and fight. I'm gonna do what I got to do. I'm, I do it every day. So, um, but I think that helped a whole lot, as far as like with confidence and just believing in myself. Is just showing up for myself. So
13 months. Sounds like there's a lot of profound transformation that occurs in this time. You have 4 fights in 13 months as an amateur. How much of a transformation is that for you as a fighter and just as a person?
it was huge. That was huge. From my first fight to my last amateur fight, it was huge. Especially like cage time. Like the more you're in there, the more familiar and comfortable you get trying things that you do at practice. You know, because once you develop new skills, sometimes you can get in the octagon and you're like, oh man, I'm gonna go back to what I'm really good at, which is normal. But then you got, okay, well, I tried this at practice and it worked. I'm not really comfortable with it, but I'm gonna try it. The more experience you get, I feel like you go out there and you just kind of learn that, like, okay, I'm gonna let it flow. I was talking to one of my boys about that. I was like, man, like he fought like 2 weeks before me. Iman Hardy, shout out Iman Hardy. He hit a dude literally like it looked like a Matrix punch. And I was just like, yeah, and I was like you're just comfortable, and that comes with cage time and believing in yourself. So knowing that, like, okay, I'm gonna do it. We put the work in, so why not go out there and have fun? Go fight.
How much is the wrestling background, the roots of where you started? How much is that a fundamental of your game, or how would you describe how wrestling is a part of your game?
Oh, it's huge. I've been doing it since I was 7 years old, so that's I'm not gonna say my whole game plan or fight style because that's slaps in my face, but it's a lot of it. It's a lot of it for sure. I mean, you seen how B, bro, he gave us the blueprint. He would leave the octagon. He ain't pretty, but you would leave the octagon, like looking the same, and I'm like, yeah, that's how I want longevity, and I want to be able to, look my kids in the face where I'm like 60 and still like have my brain. So
With that, it's not like you're holding guys down and not looking to finish. We got a good 5 rounds or a good unanimous decision title fight as an amateur, and other than that, everything's
yeah.
the finish. So you might be looking for the wrestling, but you're not wasting time.
Oh yeah, no, I'm trying to hurt you for sure, but in a yeah, in a sporty way.
In a sporty way.
Yeah,
What does that mean in a sporty way?
like it's no bad blood, but when we're in there, you're in there with me, so it's like I'm gonna go home healthy, God willing. And actually, one of my boys said something. Shout out my boy Emron. We were talking. He was like, "Man, you already got the dog in you. It's just doing to them what you wouldn't want to be done to you." And I was like, "Ah, I like that. I like that a lot."
Have you felt like you've already been able to use those words or are those fresh ones?
Oh no, I've been able to use him a little bit. I think he said it to me last year. I don't even think he knows, but that shit stuck with me like gum on a shoe. I was like, "Dog, that's a bar, bro." I was like, "That's fire." I'm taking that. I'm taking that home.
Up there in Maryland, MMA, what would you say the size of the scene is and how active it is?
Maryland, there's a couple good gyms. I think it's pretty big around here. I also haven't traveled, the world with MMA, not yet, at least, but seeing like other areas and how big they are. But I know my area, from I train in Pennsylvania, but from there to like Baltimore, Owings Mills, there's a couple good gyms.
It's amazing to see how the sport keeps expanding and how it keeps growing and how you get these different styles all coming together. Talking about your teammate from a Matrix Punch to talking about how your style a little bit more wrestling based. One thing I wanted to touch on with your style is how do the finishes get faster? As an amateur, we're looking at the second round, we're looking at a decision, and it seems like you're being even more efficient with getting the job done here now as a pro.
I would say, the amateur rounds are only 3-minute rounds, and so I have more time for work in the professional rounds. So it may appear like let's just say like an amateur round ends in 3 minutes. I was just getting to work really, but they stop it. So then you got to get back on your horse in the second round. With this one, it's a little bit longer. So it's like, okay, with those 3 minutes where I was just starting to open up a little bit more, or like start to figure him out, I have more time. I have 2 more minutes to like really execute versus them standing us up and putting us on the stool.
Makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense. 8
Yeah.
days ago, you racked up that third professional win, second round finish. What are you most proud of from that performance?
Man, I would say I had a crazy weight cut. 1, 2, 2, tore my labrum first 2 minutes of the fight. So yeah, I picked him up and kind of like slammed him, and when it happened, my shoulder just like, and I was just like, damn. So fighting through that was definitely like something I was proud of. You know, I know I'm tough, but it's like when everything's like chaotic and everything's on the line, it's like just like, okay, powering through and just saying like, you know what, fuck this shit. It's just we'll deal with it afterwards, and just getting through that and still getting the finish. I was pretty happy.
Oh my, ouch, a torn labrum. So have you already went in, got the medicals done, got things checked out? How are we going to approach this?
Uh, Time, but it's getting better. I was making a joke to my coach. I said I think it's that Brooks blood. So you know we're healing like reptiles over here.
Part Wolverine?
I'll take yeah. I'll take that too. Deadpool, yeah.
Looking for the rejuvenation.
That's right. That's right.
At 3-0 in a short time and with 7 fights in just over 2 years, how wild does this feel diving in this quickly to the process of being a fighter and getting this experience? Because this activity is literally things that most fighters dream of.
Yeah, yeah. I appreciate that. I don't really look at it that way. I guess I look at it like the job's just not done, and if I could, I would fight more. But yeah. I mean, it's definitely awesome. It's crazy because my brother said something to me the other day. He was like, you know, we're glad that you're in the octagon because you know whether it was here or some random dude down the street, you be fighting. So it's it's like it's yeah, it's a blessing of a journey for sure, 100%.
3-0. What does the plan look like now moving forward? What's next if you can control it?
Um, 2 more fights for this year for sure. I got a fight in June. Hopefully we're all healed up by then. But fight in June, fight in November, and then hopefully end the year off 5-0, and then see where we go from there. Hopefully we can get on like UFC Fight Pass or something, so we start getting a little bit more eyes, and then we'll see what happens from there.
5-0, bit over 2 years, or hoping to be 5-0. Right now, you're a bit over 2 years into this at 3-0. What have you found here that keeps you committed, that has you so passionate for this sport, for this goal, and wanting to complete the mission that you've set out?
I would say just goals, just like once I say I want to do something, I just want to do it. So, and of course, everybody wants a UFC gold. That's everybody that fights. At least I would think and hope that's everybody's dream. But just seeing how far I can go and proving to myself that I can actually do this. Everything is laid out for me. I have all the tools. I have everything I need. I just need to stay focused and just keep going. And I have a strong feeling that everything that I want in God's will happen. So we just gotta keep going. That's basically, and let's be real. I want the big house. I want to, but that's all vanity though. We ain't gotta get into all that. But it'll be nice to just be financially free and be able to take care of my family and give back to the community one day and be able to retire from this 440. So
The
see where
last thing
life takes me
before
after that.
the last thing before we let Isaiah Brooks go, sounded like you had a message that you wanted to spread. What's that message to the people?
A message I would want to spread, man. No matter how hard life gets or what you're going through right now, you can turn it around just like this. You got to believe in yourself though, and it's not going to be easy, but get up and get after it because you can be somebody and you are somebody. Even if people are telling you you're not, you may feel like you're not. You can be something and will be something if you apply yourself and surround yourself with like-minded people. That changed my life, a whole lot. So, yeah, that's it.
Isaiah Brooks, it was great getting to talk to you.
Yes,
Everyone,
sir.
we're going to link the social media on the episode. Go give them a follow. 3-0 in building. Maryland has a top prospect. Again, it was a pleasure, sir.
Thank you, man. God bless you, brother.
You have a great night.
You too, man.